Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone are doing well. My name is Tanvi Patel, and today I am presenting something different. So I am not talking about genome, exome, gene expressions, little bit different than this. So today I will be presenting on approximating facial expression effects on diagnostic accuracy via generative AI. So our motivation for this study stemmed from previous paper, and here is a table which showing the genetist accuracy from the genetist survey. And in this, if you notice, we serendipitously found the significant difference in genetist accuracy between smile and no smile faces. So in table, we can see if the Williams syndrome with the smile faces, geneticists can easily identify with the higher accuracy, 82.44%. But if Williams syndrome with no smile, geneticists facing difficulty to identify that syndrome and accuracy is decreased to 58.33%. So after this, I am just doing one experiment. This difference we found in different faces because at that time we don't have the same faces with smile, and we changed that to no smile and then show to the genetist. So that raised two quick questions. Firstly, if experts or a model trained on more smiling faces could still be accurately identify the same faces without smile. And the second question was whether it is possible to generate identical faces with all syndromic features but different expressions. For example, here I just take the example of Williams syndrome with smile faces and Williams syndrome without smile faces. And now I am hiding the face region of the Williams syndrome. I have one really quick and easy question for the audience. If I hide the mouth region of the face, still it is possible to identify that this persons have any syndrome. Any guesses? Any question, answer, suggestions? Anyone, we can try. Yeah. What do you think? Is it possible? Any syndrome, not William. Is it possible that they have the genetic disease? Yeah. So the same thing. The AI also think the same that if we are not showing the mouth, it is difficult to identify that that person have any disease. So my research is based on that uh, is the facial expressions matter in the identifying in genetic disease. So this study aimed to address these questions and provide insights into facial recognition accuracy and impact of different expression on the identification of syndromic features. In clinical application of generative AI, there are lots of data set which are underlying confounders, and it is really important to find that confounder, study it, and we need to mitigate it. Stereotypically, Williams syndrome and Angelman syndrome are associated with happy demeanor, and this is how the geneticists and the pediatrics are trained to identify this syndrome through their textbook and through their study, and including the smiling expressions. And clinical geneticists may more easily identify these conditions in images of smiling individual. So here I take two syndrome, Williams syndrome and Angelman syndrome, which are associated with the smiling expressions. As a control group, we also take two more syndrome, Noonan syndrome and 22q11 deletion syndrome, which are not associated with particular any expressions. And here are the examples of the four different syndrome which we have used in this study: Williams syndrome, Angelman syndrome, Noonan syndrome, and 22q11 deletion syndrome. So the main question, is it possible to change the expression of the genetic conditions, because we are living in a era of data and we need lot of data to uh, train any generative methods. However, in the genetic conditions, the problem is the data. There are not much data available for any genetic conditions. So here we have developed generative AI technique to change the expressions. First, we take smile and no smile faces. Then we use hyperstyle generative AI method, and through that we reconstruct the images, which is known as vector representation of that images. Then we use support vector machine and take input labels smile versus no smile. To scoring them, we score smile as in high and no smile as in low. Then we use style gain 2, and through the output image directional vector we change the facial expressions. Here in the middle, they are the reconstructed images, which are reconstructed near to the original images. If you go left, the smile is decreasing, and if you go right, the smile is increasing. So we just changed the expressions. All the syndromic features are same. After getting the reconstructed images and the change facial expressions, we analyze facial expression changes through two different techniques. First is ResNet 50, which is the deep learning model, and the second is clinician. So we show these images to a clinician with two methods: eye tracking to get the visual attention through the experts, and through the survey. As I talk that how we reconstruct the images, because it is really difficult to find the correct latent vector in the latent space to reconstruct the images. We apply ResNet 50 classifier on the reconstructed images to check that all reconstructed images are accurately predicted correct or not. So, reconstructed images were generated after training hyperstyle on our dataset. We combined with Flickr face high quality dataset. Uh, we used two GPUs and we trained this model for 7 days, and we got the results, which I show in just one example in figure A. In figure A, hyperstyle was applied to solve for the vector that can be used to reconstruct the original image. This vector was then passed through the fine-tuned style gain to finally produce the reconstructed image. And as shown in figure B, the classifier assessed the reconstructed images, and almost images are predicted correctly. The code available on my GitHub. If anyone interested, please use the code. I try to write everything user friendly. Now, let me go through the results. What is the classifier performance? In Angelman syndrome, reconstructed image and no smile manipulated image, we found there is a significant difference between the these two group. And for Williams syndrome, interestingly, we found that there is no significant difference between reconstructed and no smile manipulated images. Now, the human results, genetic survey and eye tracking results. Interestingly, in the genetic survey, we found that in Angelman syndrome, there is no significant difference between reconstructed and no smile manipulated images. But in the Williams syndrome, we found that there is a significant difference between reconstructed and no smile manipulated images. Then we show these images to the experts, and here in uh, image, the heat map image on the faces, which is showing the eye tracking experiment results examples. In image A, Williams syndrome, if you see that there is the heat map intensity near the mouth region is the same according to experts if we change the expression. So in the first, the person is smiling, and in the second the person is not smiling, but still the heat map intensity is the same in both images. After getting these results, main findings are ResNet 50 classifier yields higher prediction probability for smiling individual with Angelman and Williams syndrome, but no significant difference for Noonan and 22q11 deletion syndrome. Hyperstyled altered facial expressions while maintaining condition-specific syndromic feature affecting ResNet 50 classifier accuracy. Intrinsic variation in identifying Williams syndrome may exist due to additional features regardless of facial expression. Facial expression changes affected clinical geneticist assessment of Williams syndrome, but not the Angelman syndrome. In the future, we will have planned to build a generative models to edit a new and unseen images. Then we also have planned to sorry plan to try the state of the art diffusion based models and methods, as in this method we have in this study we have tried the expressions. In future we will have planned to analyze other demographic characteristics, for example age, gender, race, etc. The best example is Noonan syndrome. In Noonan syndrome most of the people are from the Asian ancestry. So if the model is showing more images during the training from the Asian ancestry, in the testing if we show the model from the European or American ancestry, how model will behave. And the same thing we will do with the human, because human are trained and human sees more Noonan syndrome patient from the Asian ancestry, how experts will analyze that if they see Noonan syndrome patient from the um, American or European ancestry. I would like to say thank you to my lab, which is Medical Genomics Unit, NHGRI NIH, and my PI for his kind support, Dr. Benjamin Solomon, Clinical Director of NHGRI NIH. And this study is funded from Intramural Research Training Award, NIH. The paper which I just discussed, it is already published, and here is the uh, link you can please cite. And uh, we are open for the collaboration. You can go to Google and write my PI name and feel free to email. He is really friendly and will reply your email. And you can also contact to me. You can find my name, like you can just write Patel Tanvi NIH and you can find my email as well. Please email for any collaboration, and I am happy to talk in next our coffee break. I would love to discuss about any AI, deep learning, machine learning, and computer vision talk, which I am working right now. And thank you so much for listening me. I'm open for the questions.
Thank you so much. So we have time for questions. Any questions in the audience? Okay, while you think about it, I have some questions. So I guess there's when you apply a function to increase or change the smile, that's like a function, right? So can a deep learning system learn to classify better without doing the style GAN change by learning, or do you need the style GAN change to kind of have, maybe, I don't know where the smile information comes from, but if it's like knows something about smiles because it's trained on millions of human faces. So I'm just wondering, if you really need that style GAN information, or do you have to can you just eventually have a normal deep learning system without changing the smiles to do the classification?
Yeah, it's really very good question. So we use StyleGAN as one function in our model. The reason is StyleGAN is using to change the vector randomly. In our case, we reconstruct the image. So we need the correct vector to reconstruct the original image, which is same like the original. So we use only the StyleGAN as a function. And yeah, it is very good suggestion that without changing how we can apply the deep learning model. But I think it is not possible, because without changing the expressions, we can't know that what is the effect of the expressions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other- yeah.
Hello,
Hi.
great talk.
Thank you.
You used SVM in one of the techniques. Have you tried any other machine learning model instead of SVM to get better results or change of results? Or why you picked SVM, put it this way?
Okay, that's a really good question. Unfortunately, I didn't try any other machine learning model, not like naive bias or nothing. I just use SVM because the previous paper is also used the SVM. So I thought SVM would be work better than the other machine learning models. And that's the reason I use the SVM. But yeah, I definitely try another machine learning model if they work better. Thank you.
Thank you. Great talk. I would like to know if it's agnostic to age. Do you require specific age features to be in there as an input, or yeah? Can
Yeah.
you talk about that? Yes.
Yeah. So that is, we work previously on age as well, but we will in future we will apply the age. So in age, what is our plan is, we will there are already a deep learning models which we can apply. For example, me, if I use that deep learning model through the computer, it will tell my age, right? So we have the images, facial images, we will apply that model and predict what is the age, and then we um, uh, make the different folders. For example, age 2 to 11, it is for the children, then middle age, and then the older age, and then we apply this kind of things, just changing the age and apply the model and find the confounder. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a good question. Thank you.
One more question.
So I suppose that when you call whether that individual has the syndrome or not, um, you need to also maybe base it upon multiple images collected from the same individual, because sometimes, like maybe just by chance that individual doesn't have smile, or how do you decide how many images you need per individual to make this call confidently? Yeah.
uh, so we have not lot of images for the data set. So sometime it happens that there is the less images for that. For example, if I am converting the images from no smile to smile, and there is the not much images of the no smile, so there should be a chance of the artifacts, but we use another deep learning model to remove that artifacts and try to generate the accurate results. Yeah. Thank you.